Welcome to another episode of the Unbound Book Babes. This week, we are going to talk about authors and we're going to deep dive into their mind. Specifically, we're going to talk about SJM and Rebecca Yarros because there's some big news surrounding both of those authors. But before we get into that, Kristen, what did you read this week?
You are going to be so excited. I finished Crescent City. The first one. Does it have a special?
Yeah, it's House of Earth and Blood is the first one. Sky and Breath is the second one.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting on that second one through your favorite book library, Libby.
The sarcasm's thick. Three C's.
All I have to say is, what a wild ride. Holy shit.
Yeah.
She did not pull any punches in book one.
Nope. And trying to think about book two, right? Think back to book two, and I'm not really sure anything was pulled there either.
Yeah, very, same ideas, right? Of, Faye and, well, that's kind of all that's similar, because this is very different from all of her other characters.
It's a huge...
all of her other books.
Culmination of everything, but set in a modern-day fantasy instead of a ancient fantasy? I don't know what to call it.
Traditional? It's a great question.
Yeah, good question.
Because introducing phones and technology is such an interesting concept. I feel like for her specific books and her specific type of writing, it kind of, well, I guess in ACOTAR, it replaces the mating bond and Reese's ability to just talk into people's minds.
You think the phones and stuff do?
Mm-hmm.
I see what you mean.
In ways that, in how you move the story forward, right?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know about you, but for me, it would kind of bring the book to a standstill if they had to wait for, carrier pigeons.
Yeah.
Or, in Throw to Glass, when there's, we just kind of, sent a message. We don't know if it's going to get to them or not. We just, wrote it and sent it.
Yeah. Good point. I never thought about that.
But in ACOTAR, I feel like it just replaces whatever Rhys-Ann's ability is.
Yeah. So hang out because we're going to expand on some of those things when I get to the SJM stuff. So just you hang tight. We're almost there. We'll get to it. No.
It kind of just shook my world and...
No, it's great. I love it. But I want to make sure that I'm going to breeze past some of these things right now because we're going to come back to it. We're going to talk about what SJM said in her interview on Tuesday last week. We're going to talk about it. So, and...
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask what you read this week. I'm still reeling from what I read.
So, I don't know what I read this week. No, I do. Okay, so... I finished listening to Lake's Edge by Lyndall Clipstone. I'm not sure if that's how you say her name. So, on trend, on theme. Sorry about that. But, really kind of spooky. I would say it's a good recommendation for, the spooky month, October. We're October 2nd filming day here. So...
Oh my god, and your shirt has a little 2 on it.
It's got... Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, it's a skeleton hand doing the peace sign. So that's really funny. And so it's kind of... It has to do with, the underworld and, kind of eerie mystery, dark, gothic fantasy with a unique magic system. Very good. Would recommend. It's a duology. Did not know that going into it. Of course I didn't. I thought it was just a novel and I really needed to listen to a book while I was driving. And I actually listened to that on Libby because my borrows at my, sorry you guys, if you hear that in the background, that's my dog. So yeah, I would recommend Lake's Edge for sure. Like I said, I read it, or listened to it rather, through the Libby app. And it's a duology. The next book is Forest Fall something. Same characters, continuation of plotline. I also finished Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, which is a fantasy epic kind of coming of age. The first book is a standalone, but it's been spun off and extended. So I have just read the first book. I am interested in reading the second one to see where the storyline goes, because there's a little bit of a mystery that it ends with, but it was good. I really liked it. I cried at one part pretty hard, and that was not great, but you know, that's just who I am as a person.
Did you notice anything different? Because we don't really read a lot of male authors.
Yeah.
Did you notice anything glaringly different, or like easily that you were just like, ugh?
No, not at all. But here's the thing about Brandon Sanderson, is that I'm just grabbing my Kindle, sorry. I guess I could have brought it up on my phone, but too bad I'm doing it this way. I
stand strong.
Yeah, so the whole thing, if I could learn how to work a Kindle, that'd be great too. So the thing about Brandon Sanderson is that I would classify him as a forward-thinking man. I would not classify him in a category of atypical cis white male, right? Like he's an exception. I'm lucky to know so many people that are the exception, but this author specifically is the exception. For example, this is the dedication in Mistborn for Beth Sanderson, who's been reading fantasy for longer than I've been alive and fully deserves to have a grandson as loony as she is. So he's dedicated to his grandma.
Aww.
And he wrote...
That's so cute. We love a good dedication.
We do. And he also just wrote something Emerald Sea. And that was like a side project, but he wrote it for his wife. So I just don't feel like he is... Like, there's some uproar on TikTok about a male author trying to, like, push his writing, but using all these female accounts. And, like, I don't know that much about it because, like, I suck at the internet. And so I suck at social media, which is hilarious because I have a podcast, but still, like, I cannot follow it, I guess is how I should say this, is it's really hard to follow some of these things that happen and find the root of what happened. And sometimes I just don't have time. And so basically there was this, I'm going to call it misogynistic male trying to use females to promote his book. I don't really know. It's normal. That's the normal for society, I feel. Like, I'll just go ahead and say it. I think it's the normal for society. But I think it was awesome that all these people on TikTok, all these female creators and authors were like, just a second, sir. You're welcome here, but you're not going to manipulate us. So back up, get in your lane, and do it right.
Yeah.
So I have yet to read a book by a man that I feel like I can blatantly tell. But before reading Mistborn, I couldn't tell you the last time I read a book written by a male.
Ditto.
Yeah. So on to SJM stuff.
Here we go. Hold on tight.
For real, because I also started my Throne of Glass reread.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm starting with the Assassin's Blade, which I know some people are like, what the heck? But that's how I did it my first time reading through. And I really liked reading the Assassin's Blade first with zero context as to what the hell was going on. I know I've recommended that to some people and they've come back and been like, Bobby, this is trash. I'm like, okay, go read the first book, read the second book, then read Assassin's Blade. Okay, I get it. I don't get it though, because I'm just fine reading about this situation in person I know nothing about and getting crumbs, and it made me want to read the series more. But I read that series just over a year, 14 months ago, if we want to talk toddler time. 14 months ago.
Toddler time.
Well, all these kids are like months, not, a year and 2 months. There's months. So 14 months ago, but I read all 8 books in one fucking month. So like I devoured them so fast. So now what I'm doing is I'm actually sitting down and I'm reading and I'm taking notes on my iPad as I go. And
that was exhausting.
It's slow because there's a lot to write down, and at least the way I'm doing it, I feel there's quite a bit to write down. The other thing is I'm also doing Yaz the Bookish. She's doing a reread of ACOTAR and the 2 Crescent City books leading up to the release of Hostfast, so A House of Flame and Shadow. So the foreseeable future, the next 2.5 months, I am basically just rereading SJM, which is very sad to me. Like, I'm excited. I'm not excited to read ACOTAR again. I am excited to read Throne of Glass again. And I am excited to reread and or listen to the Crescent City books. But I don't remember if both of those are in full audio. Don't remember. That's okay. But I'm very excited. I'm sad, though, because my TBR, there's so many good books on it. Like, I have a bunch of books just sitting in my Kindle that I want to read. And so
We'll have to wait.
Yeah, and I have 2 authors are coming out with books in the middle. No, 3 authors. Oh, fuck. CJ Archer, Rebecca Yarros, and Jasmine Maas they all have their next books coming out. So there'll be a point where I'm so excited for Aran's book 3. I cannot even wait. So there will be some breaks, but we're going to start, before we dive into SJM, I want to talk about Rebecca Yarros, because Fourth Wing, which you sent me the other day on Libby, has a, what was it? Was it like tell me the stats on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me pull that up again, because that was insane. Okay, so on Libby, I was ill-prepared for this. Okay, so my library alone, just the one library I'm connected to, has 104 copies of Fourth Wing. There are 417 people waiting.
Oh my gosh.
So 4 people per copy, give or take. And it's a 9-week wait.
I'm looking at my library in Libby right now. Did I spell fourth wrong? I did.
I know, and Libby won't guess. Libby will not help you out if you spelled anything wrong.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It was just like, can't even. Okay, so
it's like, nope.
How do you find that information? Do you say place hold?
Yeah, go to place a hold. And it'll tell you, it should tell you like how long.
Okay, so there are 20 copies in use, 33 people waiting in total, and 2 people waiting per copy for the the book, and then we also have the audio book, 10 copies in use, 164 people waiting in total, 16 waiting per copy. Wow. Crazy. That's wild.
Yeah.
But Iron Flame Book 2 comes out November 7th. She's doing a book tour. So she's doing a huge release party in New York at the Barnes & Nobles on the 6th at like midnight. So like the 6th to the 7th or whatever. So she's doing a huge release party. And then she's doing a book tour, and she is going to, so the midnight release in New York, New York. She will be going to Reston, Virginia, Naperville, Illinois, Dayton, Ohio, Los Angeles, California, is it Tempe or Arizona? Tempe. Don't know. You guys tell me.
Tempe, Arizona?
Tempe, Arizona. That's what I think, because I think native, I feel like that probably is closer. Don't know. And Colorado Springs.
It's also just cute.
She's completely sold out of all of these locations. She's sold out all of these locations. And my ass almost bought tickets to go to Naperville, Illinois for November 11th. But guess where we'll be on November 11th?
Ireland.
We'll be in Ireland.
Oh, wait. We're not supposed to give away our location.
We'll be in Ireland? We're not. What do you mean?
Internet. That's just internet safety. You're not supposed to tell people where you're going.
Well, they don't know where in Ireland.
Anyways, if you see us in Ireland, say hello, because it is in fact us.
And where we're going. Living on the edge. Taking risk on the internet. So,
if you ask, Bobby will send you our whole agenda.
I won't, but yes, there is an agenda. There may be a spreadsheet. So, the other really cool thing, I'm just really happy for Rebecca Yarros with this series, because Fourth Wing is good. I liked it. I liked the last 10 chapters the most, though. The
last 10?
But again, it's the first book in a series that's supposed to be like 5 or 6 books. And so like...
5 or 6?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 5 books. For sure. All right, 5.
I'll wait and catch up.
Yeah, so there's already some fan theory. This is like another fantasy epic, basically, and I'm so excited for it. And I don't know, there's some really, oh my god, I called the last, somebody gets brought up in like the last fucking couple pages of the book. I fucking called it. Halfway through the book. I said, I know that motherfucker. Where's this motherfucker at? And yep. Anyways,
that motherfucker's not real.
So she also on her Instagram page has a repost of Red Tower Books, who is her publisher, of them printing Iron Flame. So like the company, the printing company, a whole video about making the cover, printing it out, putting them together, the hardcover and the paper. Oh, and it's like, I mean, it's a Instagram reel, so it's like 90 seconds long. Super fascinating, yeah. Really cool. Recommend everybody to go check it out.
Wow.
Other big news, last night, it was found that there is a mystery ISBN number that if you look it up, it's on Barnes & Nobles, but it says out of stock. It's on Walmart, and it's on Amazon for pre-order. Mm-hmm. It's $32.99. There's no cover, no title, but the release date is November 7th. So there is some speculation that it is going to be a reprint of the sprayed edges of the first book, of the Fourth Wing book, because the first run had black sprayed edges with dragons on it. And once they were,
Oh.
so once they were gone, they were gone. So, like, my copy of Fourth Wing is not a first print of it. It's the second print of it. I do not have the sprayed edges. I have pre-order for Iron Flame, which I believe, I know for certain that it's sprayed black because you can see it in that video, but they don't show you the edges very well, like the full edge. So I don't know if they have sprayed dragons on them or anything. So there's speculation that it's a reprint of the ones with the edges. There's also speculation that the main male character in Fourth Wing, his name is Xaden. It might be his POV. Because we get his POV.
We love a good change in POV.
Yup. So we get his POV at the end in, like, I think the epilogue. Oh, I can't remember. I'd have to pull the book back out. Anyways.
Are you going to risk it? Are you going to buy that 32 random book?
I did. I bought it. I bought it.
I mean, you got to. You got to know what it is, right?
Yeah, you got me. You fucking hook, line, sinker, mystery. No title, no picture, no nothing. Take my $32.99. Send that mofo to me. I'm ready for it. I will fuck around and find out.
What if it's just a journal?
For $32?
Like an empty journal.
It says hardcover. I really hope it's not.
It's probably not. It's probably something really cool.
I hope. The other thing that I hope it is, like, this sounds stupid, and like,
this is a safe space. You're fine.
Yeah, thank you. I would love Xaden's point of view. I would love sprayed edges, but you know what I really want? I want.
Wait, let me guess. No, I can't think of it. Go ahead.
I want an encyclopedia of dragons, because there's all these different types of dragons and different colors you can get, and they have different powers and different specialties and, like, all this stuff.
And just to be clear, I'm not judging you. I'm just clarifying. You would pay $33 for that.
Yep.
There must be a lot of dragons. She made it worth it. There's got to be a lot of dragons then, right?
It could be just an encyclopedia of, like, the college because it's a dragon college is what it's about, basically. So tell me about the dragons, tell me about the rules, tell me about all the stuff, tell me the details, give me a better map, because the map, honest to God, this sounds so mean. The map in the book is trash. I don't like the map. The map of, like, the college. The map of the continent is fine, but, like, the map of the college is trash. Give me some Marauders motherfucking shit with each goddamn hallway, okay? Like, I need something better, so give me a better fucking map.
I need it all. I like it. All right, yeah. I love that. I cannot wait to find out what that $33 went to.
I will tell you and keep you informed of what this mystery book is. I'm really excited about it. I love surprises and mysteries, so I'm hoping it's worth the $32. So, last week, Sarah J. Maas did an interview. She did an interview with Christina Lauren, who is a woman, an author named Christina, and an author named Lauren, who co-author books together, and so they're the dynamic duo Christina Lauren. Phenomenal name. Good for them. How fun. They did this through Live Talks Los Angeles, which don't ask me what that is. It's just an interview thing that's recorded and sent out. And the thing is I don't think it was live. Because
you don't think it was live?
I don't think it was live. Because some of the things that she said in the interview, she was talking about, like, some things that she had to do for her son, and maybe she was talking about them in past tense, but it more sounded like it was going to happen in the future. But this happened at 8 p.m. Eastern time, which was her time zone, because she's in New York again. She moved back to New York from LA. And I think the other individuals were still in LA. Christina and Lauren, I think they were in LA. I'm not positive, but it was a virtual thing, which was kind of a bummer. I thought it was going to be like them in person, which I think would have been far more interesting to watch. And everyone, please understand that this interview, you paid $26 for a seat to watch.
No.
Yeah.
$26?
$26.
You know, it does make sense that it wouldn't be live, though. It makes sense, like, with how big her books are and secrets, and, like, if she said something or slipped up, to edit that out. I could see why that wouldn't be live. I could see that.
I agree, but she is very good at redacting herself in these conversations. She's very good at redacting herself, and she did it multiple times where she said, nope, I'm not going to talk about that. Nope, we're not going to go there. Or, oh, that's all I'm going to say about that. She didn't say, oh, I would have been like fangirling harder if she did. But she said, nope, we're not going to talk about that. I'm not going to expand on that. What I can say is this, and then she gives like one line of detail. There were some really big announcements, though, at the end. The one big announcement, 1 hour in, the biggest thing that was said was to the general populace, not to the psychotic theorist. Like
okay,
myself.
But in SJM, all she attracts are... What did you call them? I don't want to be insulting.
Psychotic theorists? I'm probably being insulting of myself.
Psychotic theorists. No, I think that's pretty accurate. Have you seen some of the theories on TikTok? You've seen them.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
Like psychotic in the best way. But honestly, that's all she attracts.
Yep, masochist. So...
I don't know which term is more hurtful, but I like them both.
I like the masochist the most. The ACOTAR5 is finally coming out. She's writing it. She's drafting ACOTAR5. And she didn't say explicitly who it was about, but she said if you read A Court of Silver Flames, it's obvious who it's about. I think it's about Azrael. I actually don't think it's about Elaine. I don't think we're going to get Elaine's book next. I think we're going to get a book about Azrael.
Just can't imagine. This is going to be so rude. I can't imagine Elaine's book would be interesting.
I think that's why her book isn't next, because right now she needs to do a lot of like plot development to make hers interesting.
Yep.
I wanted to kind of talk about, again, kind of diving into her mind, because some things were brought up about her writing style, how she sees these books and how she writes and stuff like that. Because A House of Flame and Shadow, she wrote it twice, Kristen.
Why? What does that mean? I don't think I know what all those words mean, just not in that order. So
she wrote a draft, a full over 200,000 word draft, turned it in. Hymn and Halt, it's not good enough. It's not the right story. It's not the one. Took it back. Went back and over 4 to 5 weeks completely rewrote it and only kept a handful of scenes.
4 to 5 weeks, 200,000 words. Come on. More than. Come on. That's insane.
So, yeah. So that's why it's taken so long to get another book from her, because she turned in a draft and said nope and went back. And she said even her editor on the second submission was like, this is an SJM book. This is the book. So
I really want to read the first one now. No, her editor just didn't want a third one.
That's fair. That's probably true.
Her editor was like, this is it. We've read 400,000 words. This is the one. That's fascinating. 2 copies. Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
She also said that there's a Bible that Bloomsbury, her publisher, has that is like their reference material for like what color eyes does so-and-so side character have because she can't
To make
remember.
sure. Yeah.
I'm like,
To make sure all the descriptions match.
fucking print the Bible, send the Bible out, god damn it. I will buy that too.
I mean, you'd have to. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Because she's got, yeah. How are you going to keep all of that straight?
Mm-hmm.
Just incredible.
So if you look at her historic, the way she releases her books, and this is information compiled by Yaz the Bookish. If you do not follow Yaz on Instagram, go do it. She is by far, hands down, my favorite Instagram account for everything. But she does some really, really good information about the SJM world. She's very good about posting posting spoiler warnings and everything. So she put together this infographic, and it was in her stories, so that's why I want to bring it up here. And I took a screenshot of it too because I just think it needs to exist in the real world, and if it's my real world, that's good enough. So it's on my phone. And so she showed the trend that if the release follows past trends and Hofast, House of Flame and Shadow, is released on the 30th of January, we should expect April to May, so spring 2024, the title release and the release date reveal for ACOTAR5. If, again, following trend, in August, September, so late summer, we should see the cover reveal for ACOTAR5.
Ooh, I'm very excited. I can't wait. I'm so nervous.
I'm so fucking nervous. I'm so nervous for Hofast, and you will not understand why until you can read the second Crescent City. But when I tell you that I'm terrified... Well, okay.
Going right now. If Cassian dies, I stop reading SJM. All of it. I stop reading everything.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with him.
I'm just going to, set it down and just call it a day. If he dies, I'm done with ACOTAR. I'm moving on from those books. Spoiler alert, anything you want, because as soon as he dies, I'm not even going to finish the book. If. Not when. If.
Yeah. It's probably going to happen. Poor dude. Who are some of your favorite characters from Crescent City?
I don't know how to pronounce her name. The little fire sprite?
Oh,
Lahababa?
Lilibeth, or, isn't it Lil?
The little, I don't know, for 200,000 words I called her Lahaba, so. Is there a T in the word? Did I just not see the T the entire time?
No, but I'm trying to see Lilibah?
Lilibah. Well, I'm 200,000 words into Lahaba, so. And obviously the Chimera. What is that? Shrinks?
Oh my god, yeah. Fuck, he is awesome.
Does any additional information come up about him in the next book? Or just more shenanigans?
Shenanigans.
But nothing, he's not an intricate part?
Yeah.
Well, it can't be both.
No. Midwest talk here. Let me decipher that. Yeah, no, he has a role. But he fucking goes... We don't know where he goes. We don't know what happens. We don't know where he's at. That's all I'll say. We don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how to fucking pronounce...
So close to having her. Bobby's pretty good at not giving out spoilers. I'll just spill the beans. No prompting needed.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
This could go either way for me. It's either Lehaba or Lehaba. Nickname Lily, Lele. I don't know.
Lehaba, Lehaba.
And I should have...
Lahiba. Lily.
Lily. I mean, obviously you love Hunt and Bryce, right? But She's probably my favorite side character.
That's pretty good. Pretty sick.
And then I feel like SJM pulled a little sneaky on us because at the beginning of the book, you kind of like Mika.
Mika?
You can't look back up. Micah.
Yep, I pronounced it Micah. I didn't know how to say it though.
I'll just type the names to you since we
don't know what we're saying. True fashion here. So I want to talk. This episode kind of got off the rails a bit, but that's okay. We're gonna bring it back. I want to talk about SJM Writing. So she was on an airplane for the Kingdom of Ash tour for Throne of Glass. So that's how long ago. And she was listening to the song, and all of a sudden she saw this scene in her head of the ending of the first Crescent City, where Bryce is just like running through this totally bombed out city. And she knew that she wanted it to be more modern and more like kind of like New York City, which she grew up in and loves. And if you think about the boroughs in New York and you think about Lunathon and the different areas and districts, it's very much like a traditional city, like Chicago, like Seattle, like all of them, right? You have these different districts within these big cities. And so she saw this scene and she just like sat with it for years. And she knew how she wanted the book to end, but didn't know how she was going to get there. So she just started writing. So she writes in a linear way, but she typically sees big pivotal points that she's writing up to. So I thought that was really interesting. I already talked about the Bible. And formally, she said that you didn't have to read ACOTAR to read Crescent City, but now she says that you must read ACOTAR before reading Crescent City.
Lucky I already did, otherwise I wouldn't have. I'm not a good listener. Okay, here's a question for you, though. Aside from my inability to want to be told what to do, do you think she always had that in mind, that they were going to tie together? Or do you think she saw how much the internet was like, they have to tie together?
Okay, so if you look back on other interviews, and it was even brought up in this interview, but I had skipped this line item because I know that you haven't read all the books, and you just have the Sky and Breath to go, but then you're kind of like caught up with the fandom. She is dating.
You'll never be caught up with this fandom.
That's true. I'm not either. It's crazy. It's wild out here. But she said that she had always daydreamed about mixing the worlds. And there's from 2016, there's another interview. She's like at a library. And she talks about the same thing in that interview. Is she's like, well, I'm not. She talks about string theory and how she would think they would be intertwined. And you've read Throne of Glass. And at the end of Throne of Glass, we know that Aelin falls through, spoilers, falls through layers of realms is what we'll call it. Yeah, worlds. They call it worlds, but different realms, right? So, and she ends up seeing a guy with bat wings and a pregnant woman, and he like reaches out and she feels herself slow down but continue to fall through worlds after he reaches out. We know now that that is Rhysand and Feyre.
Wait, okay, so quick question. She wrote Throne of Glass first, right? And then the ACOTAR series? Mm-hmm. So that scene was written first.
That's a great question.
And then ACOTAR was written. But I don't think there's ever a tie back in ACOTAR to that scene, right?
I published. Released August 2012. Kingdom of Shadows was, which is the book we're going to be looking at for that specific scenario.
And a pregnant woman would have been Silver Flames, right?
Yeah, but if she always had an end game for them, May 5th, 2015. Yeah, she must have known for a while. She must have had the whole baby planned for a long time then. But you are right. There isn't really, I don't recall
Reese being like, whoa, a blonde chick.
Let me help her slow down. Yeah, no, I don't remember that, but that's why I'm also doing a reread to see if there's anything that I missed now that I know, like, the stories.
Good thinking.
I think that the Starfall, I think those stars are actually souls or something from people passing, and or they're souls of people passing through worlds. And
Oh, really? I mean, that would be a lot of them, though, wouldn't it?
Right, but Reese says there used to be more, but there's less and less every year.
Like somebody's eating souls.
Right. So I think there's a connection with Starfall, the realms, and transfer of magic.
Interesting. That sounds very complicated. I wish I had like a Bible to refer back to see if the physics on that lines up.
Same. Trying to write my own encyclopedia right now, and it's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I have for news.
Whew, that's a lot.
Yep.
That's good stuff, though. Good stuff, though.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot the most important thing. Good thing you're still here listening, or you would have missed it.
This is like when you roll the credits and then you have to stay in the theater because halfway through the credits another scene comes up.
Yep, that's me right now. Yep. In the description box, there's going to be a link to all bonus chapters written Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, and Crescent City.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is it a lot of them? Is it just one link? You gotta...
It's one link.
Do I
It brings
have to click
you...
on all the links to find out?
No. It will bring you to Tumblr, to a Tumblr post by Zenith of Stories. She has collected a master list and linked to the different posts of the people who had posted it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 for the Throne of Glass series, which I had no idea was a thing. 3 for ACOTAR series. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Crescent City. And they're in different perspectives. So you get Feyre's perspective, you get Cassian's, and Nessa's, you get Azriel's, you get Rune's, you get a conversation between Dorian and Kel. You get a conversation between Selena and Nehemiah. You get to meet one of Rowan's exes. I gotta read that. I want to read it. I'm probably gonna read these tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yep.
I'm glad I stuck around for that.
Yeah. I'm glad you did too. I hope everybody else did. Anyways. Be sure to check out our next episode, which is going to be Kristen teaching me all about Russian folklore and a trilogy written, inspired by that exact folklore. So be sure to stay tuned this week on Friday and listen to that one as well. And we'll be back next week with more news.